Hi guys, welcome to the Soul on Fire show. I am so excited to be here because today is Wednesday and we get to teach on Wednesday. Today I'm flying solo and I get to go deep into forgiveness, acceptance, and understanding what it is in the vibrational fields and actually understanding how to detach. It is such a beautiful, beautiful gift. Thank you guys for being here on the live. Thank you for being here on the replay. I am so blessed with what God has put on my heart lately. There are so many things that are happening in this community of Soul on Fire, guys, and I want to thank you for being here on this community. Our brand is exploding. We just partnered with Experience That Elevates, which is an adventure company, and we are truly moving into work, doing so much deep quantum work in the quantum fields, but doing incredible, crazy adventures around the world. We have a membership that is now like just, if you want to travel, if you want to have adventure, if you want to do quantum work, then God has done so many big things in our lives the last couple months that I can't even tell you. So I am so blessed for you to be here. Thank you again for being here on the live. Thanks for those that are on the replay. My community is it's growing like leaps and bounds, and I am so blessed to have you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, guys, we're going to teach a lot about forgiveness. We're going to get into the vibration of forgiveness, what it looks like, and how it actually transmutes your realities. And that's really what I want to talk about is radical forgiveness. And we're going to get to acceptance, and I'm going to walk you through the process of forgiveness. One of the things that most don't understand is that forgiveness is not for yourself. I mean, not for anyone else. It's for forgiveness of the situation, for the person, but also forgiveness is for you. So you can actually raise your vibration and move to a different place. We talk quantum on this station, right? And when you understand that it's about emotional healing, and we work in the mental body, the physical body, the energetic body, and the emotional body. When you understand that when you're working with all four bodies and you're working with trauma that has happened, you have to get to a level of forgiveness to move through. And I'm going to teach you today how to walk through in the physical body, in the mental body, in the emotional body, and the energetic body of how forgiveness looks in each of those bodies. And it's understanding what it looks like in the quantum fields. So let's start off with, I'm just going to say it because it's really important to understand, is that everything that happens in your life is, you are not a victim. And it's the most important thing to understand. When you take accountability for your actions and your emotions, and you're actually managing your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your energetic body, and you understand that you co-create your reality with God, source, and universe, your highest self, whatever you would believe it to be. And everything is already, literally everything is already created. And anything that is happening is you outpushed. What I'm going to say is that anything that's happening that is you outpush, meaning that anything that is showing up in your physical reality is things that you have created in your mental or your emotional body or your energetic body from a state of fear, from a state of anger, hurt, sadness, guilt, or shame, right? And I'm not saying that you weren't victimized in some way, but you are not the victim, and you get to actually transmute the energy into forgiveness, moving all the way up, the emotional scale. And when you understand that forgiveness is such an incredible, beautiful part of your healing journey, that's when you actually take a step back. And a lot has transpired in my life, over the last couple of years. Actually, I was in an 8-year relationship and then ended that relationship and was single for about a year, and then was just in a recent relationship for the past, I guess I've known him for about 9 months. And there was, some journey of the self within me that I had to heal. And I was looking at it from a perspective, and I've been doing this for 20 years, guys, right? I'm licensed counselor, I'm NLP trainer, quantum energy trainer, and I still have been going through all of the journey of forgiveness. And what's come in so clearly the last 3 months of my life is that when you understand that forgiveness is a vibration, right? And it's just like moving through the emotional and energetic scale. Forgiveness is a vibration, and it is a quantum leap that you get to move into a reality of a different reality to heal whatever part of you needed to heal, right? And so when you understand that everyone is you outpushed, and I'm going to explain that a little more in depth, but in the quantum fields, there's an infinite amount of realities, and there's an infinite amount of versions of people that So it could be the same exact person with a different, if you start to perceive that person differently, then actually that person's going to start showing up in your reality differently. And so a manifestation is, let's start with what a manifestation is and how do you actually get to forgiveness in the energetic fields. This is a quantum show, guys. So we're not going to talk about, go into your heart space and find love and light. Yes, we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about energetically how to actually move into forgiveness energetically and what that looks like and why emotions are stored in your physical body as energy, and it's trapped there until you release it. So with that being said, so if the person that you're, or situation or circumstance that you want forgiveness from, start there with the intention that you have forgiveness, right? So if you have an intention, right, the electromagnetic fields, we are all energy. We are all energy. And, if you don't believe we're all energy, then you probably shouldn't be following me. Right? So with that being said, we're all energy, and in the energetic fields, right, what happens often is that most don't understand is that they go into the hurt of the problem, and they focus on the hurt of the problem, and then that actually just truly just loops into more energy of the negativity, right? So the electromagnetic fields is the electro is the thought, and the magnetic is a heightened sense of emotion. And when you understand that your heightened sense of emotion around something and your thought it's what's going to manifest in your reality. And your actual reality of today is everything that you have manifested in the past. So if you understand that you had a heightened thought and a heightened sense of emotion of fear, anger, hurt, sadness, guilt, or shame, or a belief system of I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not safe, secure, and protected, I'm not lovable, I'm not whole and complete, then that's where it would be hard to move into forgiveness, because that's where you're in the low vibrations of the wounded masculine or the wounded feminine. And in the wounded masculine and the wounded feminine, they're in victimhood, right? And so when you're in victimhood, you can't get to forgiveness. It's a completely different vibration. So I'm going to start with the physical body and what that looks like for forgiveness in the physical body. So if you have any of those emotions stored within you, then really what's going on is that emotions are stored within your DNA. It's stored in your blood. It's stored in your system. It is an energy within your system. We're God in physical form. And so if you're in fear, if you're in anger, if you're in hurt, if you're in sadness, guilt, or shame, or if you're in the belief system of I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not safe, secure, and protected, I'm not lovable, or I'm not whole and complete, you are actually pinched off from your higher self, from God, source, the universe. And so that emotion is stored within your body. And so once it's stored within your body, it actually builds momentum. And so your thoughts become patterns, your patterns become beliefs, and then your beliefs become reality, right? And so the first thought of betrayal, or the first thought of somebody hurting you, is actually when it starts, right? It's like, okay, so let's start at the betrayal. The betrayal starts, and it triggers something within inside of you. It triggers a wound within inside of you, because that person is a mirror of what you need to heal within inside of you, inside of your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your energetic body. And so they would not be showing you, right? Your soul has come in for experiencing and expanding. And if you're in contracted energy of betrayal or victimhood or whatever that may be, it's stored inside your physical body. It's stored in your muscles. It's stored in your DNA. It's stored within your physical form. So how do you do that, right? So when you're feeling sadness, or you're feeling betrayed, or you're feeling anything like that you need to find forgiveness for, first and foremost, right? I immediately, when I go into a situation where I need to find forgiveness, I immediately go into my physical form and I say, okay, I'm going to detox. So those that know me know I have not, since June, the end of June, I have not had any alcohol. I have barely any sugar, a little bit of sugar here and there, but I have not had. I removed toxic people from my life. I worked out. I really have been at bar as much as possible. Right. I truly went into my physical body, and I was like, okay, what can I do in the physical form to not be in this lower vibration of either betrayal or victim or whatever it may be? So I did a detox immediately. Did a detox, tons of greens. I poured incredibly healthy organic food into my body. I work out every single day if I can. I go for a walk. I pet my dog. I spend time with my kids. Amazing to get into, the serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin within your body to get those happy pills up, so you're raising your vibration, right? Again, your thoughts become patterns, your patterns become beliefs, your beliefs become reality. So if you believe that you can't get to forgiveness, you can't get to forgiveness. But if you believe you can, then you're on the journey of that. In the physical form, if something is happening in your life, betrayal, whatever it may be, that needs forgiveness, I immediately go into, I'm going clean, right? No alcohol, no sugar, whatever, doing whatever I possibly can in this physical body to transmute that energy, because you need to move the energy out of your body, right? And you need to find where that emotion is stored in your body, and you need to move it out of your body. Then I'm going to go to the mental body now, because the physical body, it's your vessel, right? You have to take care of your physical body. And when you're taking care of your physical body and you understand that, forgiveness is really, it's again, not for the person, it's the situation and the circumstance that you're forgiving for yourself, so that you can move through that. First and foremost, and that's the physical piece you can do. The mental body is really cool, because this is the coolest thing to understand, guys, is that your thoughts become patterns, patterns become beliefs, and your beliefs become reality. So you can change your reality by your thoughts, right? So what are you thinking about this person, situation, or circumstance that you feel like you need to bring forgiveness for, right? What does the feeling of forgiveness feel to you? And how would you feel if you actually flipped the energy, and if you saw them as a mirror, and inside of you were like, okay, so if this person is me out pushed, or this situation is me out pushed, right? What is actually going inside of me? What do I need to work on? What's the internal work that I need to do? Why is this coming up? Why is this showing up in my reality? Because if it's showing up in your reality, it has to be transmuted, and it's just energies to be transmuted, right? And so with that being said, the mental body is so important in this space, because you're not getting to a point where you're like, I mean, people may have betrayed you, you may have been victimized, like terrible things may have happened to you, but in that space, what you have to do is you have to actually look through the pain, not avoid it, not store it in your body, nothing. You have to actually look through and go into the pain. And it's a hard task to do, but you can do it. Go into meditation, go into prayer, go into your inner self, and say, okay, what emotion am I feeling from this betrayal? What emotion am I feeling from this person, the situation, the circumstances? Am I feeling fear right now? Am I feeling anger about it? Am I feeling sadness or guilt or shame or hurt? Like, what am I feeling? And then go into the why. Why am I feeling like this? Oh, okay. I feel like I wasn't loved in this moment in time. I feel like I was not emotionally validated, or whatever it may be. I journal all the time, guys. When I tell you, I mean, I think I already have my second book written, because of the last couple months of my life, I have just journaled and journaled and journaled. And so understanding that you have to change your thought pattern and it's a tricky thing, but you can do it. Changing your perspective of the situation or circumstance or the person that you felt betrayed by, and being like, oh, they were actually teaching me. My soul agreed to learn this lesson for experience and expansion. So I'm going to experience this in a different way so I can expand through it. Right. And if you want, as soon as you flip the switch that it's happening for you, not to you, that's such a powerful gift in forgiveness. It's happening for you, not to you, right? You're not the victim. You may have been victimized, but you are not a victim. So how can I use this energy? It's an energy that is showing up in my life to actually transmute, for me to actually elevate beyond my upper limits. So powerful to understand that it's showing up for your expansion. And if you understand that, then your thoughts around it start to change. Oh, okay, well, how can I have gratitude for this person or place or situation that actually brought a lesson into my life, for something to transmute, for me to elevate from? Such a different perspective than, oh my God, this person, you did this to me, you did this to me, you did this, this, and this. And what I started to do on my journey was, oh, I felt hurt from this circumstance. Not you hurt me. It was I felt hurt, and I had to take ownership for the hurt, right? I had to take ownership for why I was feeling hurt, right? It was my abandonment wounds from my father when I, years and years and years, 50 years ago, not 50, but whatever, how many years ago, the abandonment wound within inside of me, I had healed, the neglect, the rejection, the abandonment within me. So if something is coming up, and I went even deeper than that, guys, because I go deep, right? It was like, okay, I'm healing my abandonment mood from my father, from when I was a child. You know, my dad was an abusive alcoholic, and in neglect and the rejection of my father. But then I stopped and I was like, but my grandfather wasn't like that. My grandfather was actually an amazing human and taught, he like was a divine masculine and honored my grandmother as a divine feminine, and they had a beautiful relationship, right? So I actually started to look at the positive. I was like, oh, okay, so my dad actually did the best he could under the circumstances. And I started to like tweak it. And then I was like, oh, okay, so it was actually my fear of intimacy, my fear of commitment, because I was abandoned by my dad. So I was afraid to get close to people. So the first person that I loved, your dad and your mom are the first people that you fall in love with. It was triggering my abandonment wound, which was triggering my fear of intimacy, which was triggering my fear of commitment. And so the relationships that I were in, it was like incredibly successful men that were not committing, right? And so what was happening was it was teaching me within inside of me my fear of commitment. And instantly, I'm telling you, instantly, it was like a quantum leap, guys. It was quantum leap for me, because it was like, wow, okay, I had the fear of commitment. I had the fear of intimacy. And I actually went in and I was like, okay, what's behind that? And I started to do the inner work of the thoughts that along the pattern. And I went back and saw the pattern of the thoughts, the emotions, the actions that I took once I was triggered in that exact spot. And it allowed me to get to complete acceptance of the situation, where it was like, this person's circumstance or thing happened because I didn't show up authentically the way I was supposed to be showing up. And it triggered me inside of me, because it was triggering my expansion to move into my divine union, who will, now appear because I've healed all of the wounds. Right. And so, and it, when I tell you energy shifted, it was like, I mean, mind blown. Like I got phone calls and people that reached out to me that I haven't talked to in years. And it was insane what happened when, as soon as I was like, boom, 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 boom. And it was just quantum leaps. But I made a conscious effort to be like, okay, my thoughts become patterns, patterns become beliefs, my beliefs become reality. What is my belief around this? Right. It was, men hurt and leave. And then I was like, wait, no, men don't hurt and leave. Like the divine masculine doesn't hurt and leave. The wounded masculine may have hurt and left me, but the wounded masculine was me out pushed. And so if I'm not in that energy anymore, but I'm connected to the divine masculine because I'm in my divine feminine, that's when things like shifted. When I tell you shifted, like my like mind blown leaps and quantum leaps, like I'm telling you, like I haven't talked to people in years, and they started calling me. And it was because I was manifesting what was happening because of my belief system behind that, right? So moving into the emotional body of rejection, and what does the emotional body look like of rejection? It's such a powerful, powerful thing. Rejection and abandonment and all of those things that you feel like you need forgiveness for, or whatever it may be. I mean, forgiveness in an emotional body. When I went in and I was like, okay, God, tell me what this forgiveness is. What do I need to forgive? I actually needed to forgive the situation, the person, the circumstance, but I had to forgive myself for staying in that space for so long. And radical forgiveness is forgiving all the way through the journey. First, going from the lower vibrations that I was at, right? I was at all of these different lower vibrations, moving them up the scale to acceptance. I had full acceptance of what the situation and the circumstance was in this moment in time. I took full accountability for me creating my reality because of my past belief systems and everything that was going on within my body. At first I went into a slight depression where I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing anything. And then I like snapped out of it and I started working out. I started changing my energy, started changing my mind. And that's when things started to shift for me. Right. So you guys know that I go through situations and circumstances really quickly, and then I teach them back to you. Now, here's the thing, guys, is with forgiveness, once I was at acceptance, it was like a relief. It was like this huge relief off of my shoulder, that it was like, I accepted the person for the person where they were in their journey, their healing journey. I accepted the situation and I accepted my responsibility, and that I didn't actually show up as spiritually mature as I could have. Right. And I was like, how could I be better? How could I have shown up better? Oh, okay. And then I went back into the patterns of my relationship. I've only been in 4 relationships in my entire life. And I went back, but the patterns were the exact same in every single relationship because it was trying to show me, right? The forgiveness is amazing because it doesn't just heal the person, the situation, it heals the actual pattern. When you have radical forgiveness, it heals the entire pattern of what's going on that needs forgiveness, which is so powerful and so huge because it transmutes your energy and it transmutes your reality, right? So if you identify the pattern that you're the loophole that you're down, right? And then you identify the belief system and you identify that, and then you control your reality, right? So if this is me out pushed, I'm going to actually say, oh, this is where I didn't have boundaries, right? And so emotionally, I didn't have emotional boundaries. So I had to forgive myself for not having emotional boundaries because I was acceptance for where the person was on the healing journey. But I also had to accept that I didn't have boundaries and I didn't have clear, concise, enough self-love to show up in a way that was like, no, this is not acceptable. This is not okay for me, right? And so I called in the wounded masculine to heal a wound. And then I got to acceptance and forgiveness. And then I found boundaries. And from boundaries, I found self love. And from self love, I found self empowerment. And from that space, I was like, I get to show up differently than any other time I've ever shown up differently. And it was so cool because in that space, I literally transmuted my reality, guys. And it was such a beautiful, amazing thing because I went from fear, anger, hurt, sadness, all the way up the emotional scale to acceptance, then to forgiveness and the forgiveness of myself, the circumstance, situation. And then I got to, wow, okay, I don't actually need this pattern in my life anymore. I identified the pattern. I identified what was going on in my emotional body. And then I addressed it. I dealt with the emotions and then I moved on. We're going to talk about how to actually transmute the energy in just a bit. We're going to take a quick break, guys. Stay tuned for more understanding how to transmute trauma and move into forgiveness and understanding that you control your reality and how to manifest in exactly the way you want to. We will be right back, guys. Stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show. I'm so excited today because we're going deep into radical forgiveness, acceptance, and detachment, right? So we went into the physical body and what steps to do in the physical body of what to do when something happens where you need to bring forgiveness into your life. Then we went into the mental body and we also went into the emotional body. Now I'm going to actually talk about energetically what it looks like forgiveness in the energetic fields and understanding that the version of whatever happened, the situation, the circumstance, the person, the version of that energetically in the quantum fields, there's actually a different version of it. And so if you're at a lower vibration, that's what's going to show up is the version of what the people, the place, the circumstances is going to show up at that exact vibration because your reality is never, ever, ever about what you want. Your reality is about what you are and who you've become, right? So if you flip the switch on forgiveness, and this was like a turning point in my life for me when I started to as I said, I was in an 8-year relationship and then I was just ended a short other relationship that was incredibly, I thought was the love of my life. And it was this incredible, I mean, my best friend, my absolute best friend in the entire world. And I have nothing but love for him. But in the moment that we were not together anymore, it was actually very hard for me. And I was in my ego, right? I was full on in my ego where I was hurt by a situation and I wasn't accepting accountability for that. So I was at a super low vibration. And I showed up at that low vibration. And then I really honestly started to think, okay, God, vibrationally, if he's me out pushed, how does that look? If every relationship I've ever been in with me that needs forgiveness, whatever it may be, whether it's your parents, your children, circumstance, situation, everything, it's you out pushed. How can I start to see and transmute the energy, right? So I started to see all of the people that I've been in relationships with, again, just a few of them, but I started to see them in a higher light. I started to come from kindness. I started to not take things personally. I started to actually, it started to just be like something happened this week with somebody that I'm super close with, and it could have turned into this fight where because it was a circumstance that I really wanted to do something, and this person really didn't want me to do something, and then I just stopped and I was like, okay, let's look at this from a 360 view, right? How can I bring kindness into this? How can I bring love and kindness into this? How am I where are my boundaries? How can I not cross those boundaries? And energetically, it shifted immediately. He showed up completely different than he's ever shown up before, because I found kindness. I saw him in a different light. I saw the situation in a different light. I gained love and understanding, and I went into a higher vibration and moved into a higher vibration. And that person who's, an important person in my life showed up incredibly different than if I was at the lower vibration and I was like at anger and hurt. And when I was coming at him, right? And so when I was coming at him, meaning that, I was in defensive mode and I was triggered, he's immediately going to come at me and be triggered as well. But when I leaned back and I looked at the greatest and highest good for everyone involved, there was a solution that it was like, oh, okay, I don't have to do that. I could do that a different weekend and a different time, and you can go and everything could be wonderful. It was like instant forgiveness because I changed the vibration. I changed my vibration. I changed my perception. I changed the reality of what happened because I stopped and I was like, how can I bring kindness into this? And then, somebody went down a rabbit hole of like negative stuff with me about somebody else. And I was just like, yeah, no, I actually don't, I don't want to be in that vibration. And then they continued, and then I just stopped and I was like, actually, I'm going to leave this conversation because I didn't want to be in that vibration, right? The vibrations build momentum, right? So if you're building momentum in fear, you're building momentum in anger, you're building momentum in sadness and guilt and shame, that's what you're going to produce, right? Everything that's showing up in your reality right now is all of the energy that you've already manifested. So why would I want to manifest something when I've already gotten to forgiveness and I've moved into a beautiful higher state of being. And now I truly, like, somebody was saying something and I was just like, yeah, no, that's not my thoughts at all. And it's amazing because it shifted the energy, guys. And so when you shift your thoughts, you shift your perceptions, you shift your reality and your belief systems about a situation, radical forgiveness feels like relief. It feels like, wow, I'm in acceptance. Then you move from acceptance all the way up to forgiveness. When you're in true forgiveness, it doesn't resonate in the same way energetically, right? When you're in true forgiveness, it is I forgiving myself, my situation, circumstances. I understand that we're live in a vibratory world, right? We live in a vibratory world. I understand I create my reality. I also understand that things take time between the time you want to manifest and the time there's a void, right? And most people are not comfortable in that void, but forgiveness is in that void, guys. Forgiveness is in the period of time that something happened, circumstance, thing, person, whatever it may be, that you are gaining forgiveness, acceptance. You have to get to a point where once you go from the lower vibrations to acceptance to forgiveness, which is a higher vibration, a very high vibration, you move into the most beautiful state, which is detachment. And when you can detach from it, and it just feels like a memory as opposed to an imprint in your soul, right? It means that you've worked through your soul lesson. It means that you have worked energetically, you've done the energetic work, and you can actually move on from it. So when you're in the energy of contraction, and contraction, think of the word contraction, right? You're contracted, your energy is contracted. When you're in the energy of expansion, you're expanding out beyond it. When you get to detachment, beyond forgiveness, it is the most beautiful place, because detachment is that happened with me. I've grown from it. I've learned from it. I accepted where they were on their journey or what happened, the circumstances. I've forgiven them, the situation, and myself. Now I'm detaching from it and I'm removing my energy from that entire thing. That is the most powerful energy in the world, because when you remove yourself from the pain, it no longer has any power over you. So I want to ask you guys this, right? What is giving you power? And where are you getting your power from? Are you getting your power from lower vibrations? Are you getting your power from victimhood? Are you getting your power from getting attention from victimhood? And I will tell you this, and I'm going to be raw and real. The victim gets a lot of attention, right? This happened to me. I was betrayed, right? A lot of people love on you and pour love into you. I'm not saying you shouldn't be supported. I am saying it's the victim feeds into that. That's the energy that you're feeding into, right? If you get to acceptance and then you get to forgiveness and you get to detachment, you're actually taking your power back, meaning that forgiveness and detachment and acceptance is 100% saying, I'm taking accountability for my actions, my energy, my body, my mental health, my emotions, and I'm going to heal for me. And that person, place, situation, or thing can heal on the journey as well. But you're not in charge of anybody's emotions. You're not in charge of healing anyone. You're not in charge of taking care of anyone. You're not anyone else. You're not, unless, you are not their healer. You're not their therapist. You're not their mother, whatever it may be. You may be their mother, but you're not in charge of their emotions, but you are in charge of yours. A spiritually mature person, and this is where I'm going to go deep into spiritual maturity because it's so important in forgiveness. A spiritually mature person looks at this and says, this happened with me for my expansion. I am grateful for the experience, even though sometimes it was a shit show. I am grateful for that person, that place, that experience, because without that person being a mirror to you, it's a mirror to you, relationships are a mirror, it would not have allowed the expansion in your soul. Now I'm going to talk about expansion, because expansion beyond that is the most important thing. Spiritual maturity starts the expansion process, right? I actually have moved into forgiveness. I have moved into detachment. How am I going to change my behaviors and my patterns that I was attached to in the lower vibration so that doesn't happen again? That is full on radical forgiveness, is saying, okay, I went through the entire forgiveness process. Now I have to actually I'm going to have an opportunity to have forgiveness always, right? We're always going to have opportunities in our lives to find forgiveness, guys, because things are always going to happen. Things are always good. But if you understand that, if you look at a situation from the detachment space and you're the observer of your life and you're looking at your life as a 360 observer, how are you responsible for that? How did you show up? What happened when the situation or the circumstances happened? How are you still in victim, right? How do you change that pattern? What do you need to do? Take inspired action to actually move into that space of radical forgiveness. Radical forgiveness is not easy. Radical forgiveness is looking within inside of you and doing the inner work within inside of you, getting to a place of detachment where you have so much gratitude for that lesson that in your life. And then the final step of radical forgiveness, guys, is using that pain into something for your purpose, bringing it out to the world to be a better mom. But for me, it's being a quantum trainer and TV host and teaching, using that for purpose, right? You don't have to go through pain to get to your purpose, but you can use your pain, and you could use the adversity that came with it, and you could use it for the greater good, for yourself, for your family, and for everyone around you. And when you're in a detachment energy and you're leaning back and you're the observer, see, there's different types of energy, especially in relationships. There's the anxious, the avoidant, and then there's the secure. When you're secure in your frame, in your energy, in your power, you're not worrying about what the situation or the circumstance or the person was doing, because avoidance pull in, they pull their energy in and they say, okay, I'm going to avoid the situation and I'm not going to face it. And anxious people lean in and they say, I need to fix this. I need to fix this. Right. And a secure person does the inner work. A secure, emotionally secure, emotionally intelligent, spiritually mature person says, I'm going to take accountability for me and who I am. And I'm going to be happy. And in my physical body, my mental body, my emotional body, my energetic body, I create my reality. I create this, and I'm not staying in that vibration. I'm going to do everything in my power to heal this wound, to get from contracted energy into expanded energy. Because when you move into expansion, right, here's the thing. The next thing is you're going to move into expansion. You're going to feel such a huge relief, right? But there's always more to be expanded. There's always more that you can forgive. There's always more that you can go into, because our souls are here to experience and expand. Yet you don't have to repeat the toxic patterns. If people are you outpushed or situations are you outpushed, you're creating that by your vibration, right? You cannot get to the problem you cannot get to the solution by being in the vibration of the problem. You cannot get to the solution by being in the vibration of the problem. The solution for you is different than the solution for me, and the solution for the person that was involved, or the place of the situation that was involved. You have to do the inner work. You have to make a commitment. I'm telling you, I am committed all day, every day to doing the work. And God, I get flooded with information, and I have been gifted with the gift of knowledge and the gift of the Akashic records, and gifted with healing, and gifted with, I love my gifts, but with your gifts come, adversity. With your gifts come things that you're going to have to forgive. When you understand, forgiveness is a vibration. It's a thought. It's a pattern. It's a belief. Acceptance, detachment, they're all a thought that becomes a pattern, that becomes a belief, that becomes a reality. You get to work in that field to do that. We're going to be right back, guys. And then I'm actually going to do an incredible forgiveness. I'm going to teach you guys how to actually find what's going on in your body, and an energetic exercise for you. So that way you can do this at home if you want. We will be right back, guys. Stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show. Today we are live. We are talking about forgiveness, acceptance, and detachment, and moving through the emotional scaling, moving up to the emotional scale to get to a high vibration, to actually get to detachment, and moving through anything that you need to forgive in your life. In the first segment, we went through the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the energetic body, right? And then the second segment, we went deep into the energies of forgiveness, acceptance, and understanding how to get to detachment. Right now, I want you to, if you have a paper and pen, and don't do this while you're driving, because I'm going to do some energetic work with you. I just want you to stop right now. And if you do this, I promise you, it will get you to forgiveness. I want you to write down a pattern in your life. I want you to write down a pattern in your life that you see, right? For me, it was the wounded masculine. And again, not the men that were the wounded masculine. It was the energy of me needing to heal my wounded father. And it was showing up for me as the wounded masculine again. So what is the pattern that you need to heal in your life? Behind that pattern, what is it? What's the emotion behind that pattern? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it hurt? Is it sadness? Is it guilt and shame? Behind that, what is it? Is it I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not safe, secure, and protected. I'm not lovable, or I'm not whole and complete. I want you to write that down and write down everything that comes up with this, right? Write down your emotions, write down your feelings, whatever the betrayal was or the victimization was that you felt that you need to forgive, right? But I want you to write down the people that were involved. I want you to write down. Now, I'm going to ask you one more thing. I'm going to ask you how you showed up in that role, right? What did you do? What were your emotional triggers? What got triggered within you, right? For me, again, it was an abandonment wound that I had to heal. And then I went even further and deeper behind the abandonment wound, and I found a fear of intimacy and a fear of commitment, right? Meaning that I was calling in my divine union, but I couldn't get to my divine union because I had a fear of intimacy and I had a fear of commitment. So I was energetically, betrayal and different things that allowed forgiveness within my vibratory fields were showing up. People, circumstances, and things were showing up where I can actually heal this wound. So that's what I want you guys to focus on, is what is the wound that you need to heal, right? Within you, from your inner child, because your brain between 0 and 7 years old is so malleable that if you feel rejected or if you feel abandoned or neglected in any way, shape, or form, it's going to develop a fear of something, right? Or anger or whatever it is. It can actually be stored in your body for your entire life. And again, I do the energetic and the body work. We do all the work at Noelle Agape Global. We do the mental body, physical body, emotional body, and energetic body. So I just want you to, this part right here, just feel as much as you can about the betrayal, the victimization, like what's going on with you, right? How did you show up, right? How were you triggered? How did you feel when you were triggered? That's what I want you to know, right? How did you feel when you were triggered? What was it pulling out for you? Now, what is this teaching me? Huge component in healing. What is this teaching me? Just get some downloads and receive what is teaching you. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am safe, secure, and protected in love or money, whatever it may be. I'm worthy. I'm good enough, safe, secure, and protected. I'm whole and complete. Right? What is it teaching you? What is your soul trying to do from this expansion space? Now I want you to just take a deep breath in and close your eyes and meditate for a second. Just take 4 deep breaths in, release, deep breath in, release, deep breath in, release, deep breath in. Now find it in your body, right? What is the emotion? Fear, anger, hurt, sadness, guilt, or shame. Find that in your body. Scan your body with your mind's eye, because everything is through imagination, right? Now, find it in your body. Is it in your heart space? Is it in your mind? Is it, wherever it may be? Again, if you want to know more about the chakra system, then go to noelleagape.com. I have whole courses on that. But it could be stored in your energetic systems. Is it in your body? Is it in your right side of your brain? Have a conversation with your right side of your brain. Is it in your left side of your brain? Now, I want you to actually take a deep breath in, and I want you to do something that you've never done before. I want you to have a conversation with your subconscious mind. What is it teaching you? What is it showing you? How do you want to expand from this? Once you've scanned your body and you found it in your body, I want you to go into your mind. And again, your right side of your brain has a message, your left side of your brain has a message, and then your subconscious has a message, right? What is it teaching you? Then go into your amygdala, which stores the fears. What fears are you not facing right now? Take a deep breath in. From that space, I just want you to literally scan your energetic fields and your chakra systems and see if anything needs to be emotionally released from your energy, right? What energy are you putting out into the world? When you understand that you are energy and you are putting out things to the world, and that's how you develop your reality, you will shift that immediately. And so what is the energy that you've been putting out in this pattern? How is that working out for you? Are you ready to change it? Are you ready to make different decisions? Are you ready to go in and do the inner work needed for this expansion, right? Where have you not been doing the inner work? Where have you been avoiding? Where have you remained in victim? Where have you stayed safe? And where have you avoided it? All right? Taking a deep breath in, finding it in your body. Now, I just want you to actually move into your heart space. And now we're in the emotional body. I want you to put your hands on your heart, and I want you to feel everything that happened in that journey. First, we wrote it, and then we allowed our subconscious to be primed. Now, I want you to feel everything that happened on that journey. And now, in your mind's eye, I actually want you to close your eyes and have inside your heart, I want you to feel the energy behind your heart. I want you to feel the energy expanding out further and further and further. And now your energy is covering your entire body. And I want you to actually just imagine yourself in your mind's eyes floating outside of your body and being an observer of the situation. I want you to observe everything that you did, everything the person did or the situation did. And I want you to observe from not an emotional space, but an observer space. If you need to, you can put a movie screen in front of you and watch the movie of your life. As you're watching the movie of your life, I want you to observe the body language. I want you to observe the belief systems. I want you to observe what's going on, right? This is the lesson that your soul has come here to learn. Receive that lesson. What did all of this that needs forgiveness teach you? Once you've learned that lesson, could you get to acceptance that that person, place, or thing was at a very low vibration, and you were at a very low vibration, and you get to actually raise your vibration through it? Can you get to acceptance and forgive, at least to acceptance of the situation, the circumstance, and the person? Taking a deep breath in, looking at the movie screen, knowing that most people operate at the level of the awareness. And if you pull yourself back and you're at a more spiritual, mature space, and your higher self is being called in right now, what would you do differently? How would you respond differently? How would you act differently? Just watch this movie play out. Taking a deep breath in, now collapsing that movie theater and moving back into your heart space, taking a deep breath in, finding love and gratitude. I want you to find something that you absolutely love, something that you are grateful for. I want you to pull that energy of gratitude back into your heart. And I want you to see and feel yourself and this lesson as something that your soul has chosen to grow into. And as you're doing that, just have so much gratitude for that. And have so much gratitude for your body. It works so hard. Have so much gratitude for your mind, because it literally is programmed, and you can reprogram your mind. Have so much energy for your emotional space, and so much gratitude for allowing your soul to expand in this moment. Taking a deep breath in, going back into your heart space with full of gratitude. Now, if you can get to forgiveness, this is the most important thing. Forgiving the person, the circumstance, the situation. If you can have a conversation energetically with that person, have a conversation with them. If you can get to forgiveness, and now from this space, I want you to see your life without this pain. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What's going on with inside of your heart without this pain? Does it feel like relief? Does it feel like detachment? If you're not fully ready to detach, what do you need to do to detach? Ask your heart space that. Deep breath in. And from that space, I just want you to thank everything, person, and situation, including yourself and your higher self, for being involved in this entire journey. And when you're ready, you can float your eyes open again. And I want you to write down everything that came in. I want you to write down every message that came through. I want you to understand that you can change your patterns. Your thoughts become beliefs, your beliefs become patterns, and your patterns become reality. For you to change your reality, it takes a little bit of time. And so it takes a little bit of work, right? There may be a situation in your life right now that is coming up that is asking you for forgiveness, asking you to move through the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, and the energetic body to a higher vibration, a higher frequency. It's asking you to not remain in the problem. It's asking you to truly, truly, truly be in the solution and getting to a place of forgiveness, acceptance, and detachment. Because when you have that, you can actually start to open up a new frame of what you want to create from this space now without that pain. Here's the most important thing, guys. When you expand your energy from contracted energy, you absolutely have space to call in something else. So, from this space of forgiveness, from this space of detachment, I want you to write down what your new desires are. What do you want to create? And understand that the universe will come up it will come up again with different people, different circumstances, and different places, just a different identity, but the same problem until you get to full radical forgiveness, until you get to full radical acceptance, until you get to full radical detachment. That situation, circumstance, and person will show up with different name, face, and place, but it will be the same problem because the problem is within you. You have to heal that. And you have to open up and expand beyond the contracted energy so you can create something new. You are creators. You are the creator of your reality. You co-create with God, source, universe, with your highest self. And forgiveness, radical forgiveness, and radical acceptance, and radical detachment means that you have to go in and be radical with who you are. You have to own your physical body. You have to own your mental body. You have to own your emotional body. You have to own your energetic body, and you have to take accountability because no one is coming in to rescue you. I promise you guys, when you are in forgiveness and you're in radical forgiveness and radical detachment and radical acceptance, you find love in God in everything. Everything, including being victimized, including the power that you have given away and you're pulling back into your world, and you become the most powerful being from this experience. And I can't say enough that if you don't understand that this is showing up in your life for you to regain your power, you are not a victim. You are God's source universe in a physical form. When you're at a higher vibration, a higher frequency, you could see things without feeling like a victim, and know that you may have been victimized, and know that things need forgiveness, and know that you may have been betrayed, but it is only your belief system that is causing it. It is there for you to heal. You have to take radical responsibility for your energy, for your body, for your emotions, for your mental health, for your physical health, for your emotional health, your energetic health. No one is doing anything to you. They are doing it with you for your expansion. Radical acceptance. From radical acceptance, you can detach and you can create whatever it is you want, knowing and understanding that there is a void between the time of creation and the time of manifestation. Most people get right to the point of manifestation, and they quit because they fall back into the old patterns. The old patterns of not feeling loved, not feeling lovable, not feeling safe, secure, protected, whole, and complete. Falling back into fear, anger, hurt, sadness, and guilt and shame. And I promise you this, guys, those things will always be there. A vibration is a choice. Forgiveness is a choice. Acceptance is a choice. Detachment is a choice. The divine masculine, divine feminine energies are a choice. The wounded masculine is a choice. The wounded feminine is a choice. Everything needs dark to have light. When you switch on the light, it exposes the dark. And it's there to be transmuted. Energy is fluid. You are energy. You are here to transmute lower vibrations to higher vibrations. When you understand that that is our purpose on this planet, you will find love and forgiveness in ways that you never thought you could. When you understand that your soul came into human form for two reasons: experiencing this life and expanding beyond this. When you understand that God is in you, through you, and everything is always working out for you, you are not a victim. You are controlling your reality. You might be in the void, or you might be in a lower vibration, or you might be in the new manifestation of expansion. But there's only two things. There's the wanted and unwanted. And if you feel like it's something that's unwanted in your life, it's because you're in contracted energy. And if you feel like you're not connecting to what is wanted, it's because you're not a vibrational match to it. Whatever has shown up in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, it's because you have been a vibrational match to that. Take accountability for who you are. Take accountability for your power. Claim your power. Claim your strength. Claim everything within you. Change your reality. When you get to literally forgiveness, acceptance, detachment, leaning back, being the observer, taking radical responsibility for your emotional well-being, that is when you claim your life. That is when you claim your power. That is understanding that you're not moving through this life. You're working in this life as a spiritual being having a human experience. I love you guys so, so much. If you need deeper healing and you don't feel like you can do it on your own, go to noelleagape.com, because I promise you guys there is free meditations, there's free activations, there's courses, there's masterminds that we have. We have memberships to work into the quantum fields if you need deeper healing. If you feel like you cannot do it on your own, that's why we built this community. We built a community for you to truly, truly love and honor you, find your spiritual gifts, bring your gifts out to the world, move through the pain into expansion, and move into your purpose. It is the greatest gift that we have for being on this earth in this time. Everything, everything, everything is God in you, through you. When you understand that you are more powerful than you will ever know, you have something in you. You have something in you that I don't have. You have a gift to bring to this world. It is a gift to be in this world, and you have a gift to bring to this world. Everything you are going through, you're going through to literally master and bring out to the world in a higher vibration. Know and understand that if you need support, we are here at Noelle Agape Global. We have tons of programs for you, and some of them are free. Some of them are, you can come on journeys with us. When you understand that the healing journey is within you, and it's a connection between you and God, you and your highest power, you get to transmute who you are. You get to live life differently. And the best thing that I can express, guys, is that you are here to live this life and experience this life and expand beyond the lower vibrations. And when you do that, adversity will come up. I promise you, adversity will come up. It's how you handle it, right? It's how you handle it. Take accountability, be spiritually mature, know that there is God in you, know you are supported, and know that if you need help, just reach out. You're not alone. You don't have to do this alone. But don't be the victim, because the victim actually gets a lot of attention. But I will promise you this, you'll get a ton more attention when you're in your power, and you're doing a disservice to God, source, and the universe if you are not standing in your power. The world needs you more than ever. Claim your power. Claim within. Get to radical forgiveness. Person, situations. Own your mental body, your physical body, your emotional body, and your energetic body, and own your power. You are more powerful than you know. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.